Thank you so much for your time, sir, today. To be precise, 35 years in this business. How's that been for you?
Oh, I think it's been interesting and a lot of fun. It's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you go up, sometimes you come down, but you have to enjoy both. So otherwise, half of life you will not enjoy. So it's a part of going up. But by and large, the curve is moved up. So I think it's quite a happy situation.
Today, I mean, if you see the dynamics have changed, how do you see this whole journey?
I think real estate was a very unstructured kind of business and couldn't be called an industry as such at that point of time. It was more like a kind of one-off situation of investments and stuff like that. Bad character people used to be in the line. We were akin to being the Haji Mastans, Yusuf Patels and the Davuds of the world and stuff like that. I think that was the beginning, and people looked down upon us. A large amount of characteristics of sale proceeds were in cash. Black money was rampant in those days, and I think that situation has completely changed its paradigm. And I think now it's an industry. It's a respectful business. Good companies, good people, good corporates want to get into the business of real estate, and also the fact that good professionals are willing to enter the line and really do the business. And of course, TV stations like you are willing to do the real estate as a kind of a slot. So I think all these things have really made a paradigm and things have changed. Government see real estate as a positive industry. It is necessary for private people to really do this business, and it's not up to government will really provide the housing for India. So I think the private sector has a great role to play over a period of time. Having said that, I think real estate has failed in many respects, even in spite of the 35 years. The fact that we still have not been able to get affordable housing for all. We have not been able to provide the wherewithal wherein we can cater for all segments of society. I think that's a shortcoming where we have not been able to achieve what we would like to have achieved.
So when Hiranandani Group is out there trying to offer something to the masses, how do you actually decide the risk appetite?
Looking into the fact that we do layouts and we do townships, I think the wherewithal in terms of internal infrastructure to a great extent is given by us, while other builders more rely on the city to provide these amenities. So we do a lot more for every township that we get into, and by and large we have done it successfully in various places.
So would you say that is the key to your growth despite the slowdown in the market?
Yes, I think that's one of the factors, but there are many others. People trust us. Number two, a lot of people have dealt with us, but also that the fact that those buildings have stood up the test of time in terms of quality, in terms of plumbing, in terms of waterproofing, in terms of aesthetics. And many times people are very proud of what they have purchased, you know.
You've actually gained that trust of the masses. But today, even in the real estate market is actually going through the customer trust crisis. I mean, it's really not happening. So you think this whole issue about getting a regulator in place and having an industry status will actually solve all the problems?
It sounds like a tall order. I don't think it's possible. I don't think any regulation and stuff can possibly improve the marketplace in that sense of the term. There used to be a huge amount of regulation before 1991. Before you decontrol cement, cement was in a total mess. Before you decontrolled industry was in a mess. When you had control about cars to be issued, it was in a total mess. When you had aviation in control, it was a total mess. So I don't think bringing in more control is going to be helpful in the long run in terms of getting production out of the place. But it may regulate the kind of relationship between the developer and the customer at a particular point of time till deregulation really takes the place and enough production takes place. So to say that regulation will not help is not true, but to say that regulation is a solution for India is bullshit.
So earlier you touched upon the affordable housing bit. This is a very relative term. I mean, everyone defines it differently, obviously. What are your thoughts on this concept?
I have a very simple, my guru is Mr. Deepak Parekh, and he defines affordable housing in a very straightforward and correct way. And he says that 5 years income should be the price of the house that you buy. So you take your annual income, gross annual income, top line, and then multiply it by 5. That's the affordable house. So if you can get a house in that salary That's the affordable house. So if your salary goes up, your affordability goes up. And since the country's affordability is going up because everybody's salaries and more young people's salaries have gone up, more and more people are getting affordable housing available, need the available housing. So automatically the demand for affordable housing is going up.
So you think India has inventory to cater to that segment?
Of course. We can always cater for any segment of this industry. We are foolish people who do not cater for it. The problem with real estate is that the government is too much under control. Whether it is approvals, whether it's land, whether it is zoning, whether it's FSI, whether it's fungible, whether it's TDR, everything is under control of the government. So what has happened is they are actually strangulating supply. And as other industries and businesses have gone out of the marketplace in terms of controls, more and more control remains in the real estate field, and this is seen quite apparently all over the country.
So, but even the Hiranandani plot here went through that process. What happened to that land?
Basically, what has happened is it was a private plot and not a government plot. We went through the process of acquisition and release because of the purposes of it was under a tripartite agreement where an arrangement was made. But it was not government land. It was my land. I had purchased it and handed over. The misnomer is that they say it was government land, which it was not. And so obviously these things have gone wrong. We got permission to amalgamate in 1989, and we were allowed to amalgamate and make larger flats. And then also in the case of TDR, you're allowed to make larger flats. Now this has been misread as saying that I violated certain agreements. However, an arbitration award has been given wherein they have shown very clearly that I have not violated any agreement whatsoever. However, there has been an interpretation that why didn't I not cater more for the affordable category. And we are now making it because in order of the court, and we'll make smaller sizes of tenements now for the purpose of the marketplace, though I'm not required to do so according to me. But still, I'm quite happy with the order, and we will continue and construct these buildings. Here you have some people who are targeting me and trying to bring me down and spoil my name. I guess this is part of life and part of growing up. And if you are reached at that particular position, people take pot shots at you and find it easy to throw stones at you.
Where next does Hiranandani Group go?
Well, we are experts in townships, so we do townships. We have townships as a family. We have townships in Powai, we have in Thane, we have 2 townships in Chennai, we have in Bangalore, we have in Hyderabad, we have in Panvel. We are planning in Pune, Nasik, Ahmedabad, or mainly in the western and southern region at this point of time. And we hope that these multiple townships will continue to happen. Having said that, we will also do SEZs, we will also do commercial, we will also do this thing. We are not focused on retail. We are not good retail people.
Townships have worked for you, I mean, and everyone has seen that. But it's not really done that well for other developers. What's going wrong there? And what went right for you, rather?
I think you need a lot of commitment. You need a lot of patience. You need a lot of investments. And you need a lot of belief in yourself.
Government says they have reasons for having those 252 approvals in place, whereas there's a one-window clearance requirement which has been posed. How do you bridge this?
If leadership believes that by keeping 52 approvals and having dilatory tactics and stuff like that and making it over-regulated and putting controls on FSI and not improving infrastructure in cities is going to solve the housing problem, then I wish them luck. But no country in the world has been able to do it. So I don't see how India can just do by magic grow houses. So I think what we really need to do is to find out some leader who can actually show the way, and both the government and the private people would trust that person or people to lead this revolution to do so.
So you actually think that the proposition of no cash transactions will avoid any black money or that kind of a transaction in real estate?
There is a lot of problem relating to cost which government is officially charging in cement, in steel, in development charge. My friend Mr. Sushil Mantri in Bangalore did a calculation, and he worked out that for an affordable house, 40% of the total cost of an affordable house is taxes, direct and indirect. Now, if you put 40% as taxes, if you can remove that for a couple of years, you have so many tax-free status for IT and for industry and business. But for affordable housing, you don't have it tax-free. So I mean, if you're putting 40% as taxes, how the hell are you going to make cheap houses if 40% of your cost of housing is in taxes? That's one. And second, it's not easy to get 52 permissions. You buy a piece of land, it takes you 2 years, 3 years to get all these permissions. Forget the cost of the things which go under the table. But even officially, the amount of payment is too high. The stamp duty cost, VAT, service tax, taxes on the materials, tax on people, contractors and stuff like that. I think it's become too expensive. Everybody thinks that real estate and housing is a milching cow, both under the table and over the table. So, I mean, the extortion is really of the industry rather than by the industry.
So, and last word, I mean, if you were to put for us on what would you describe as the key catalyst or that would transform the real estate business today in India?
Leadership. I think we don't have any leadership in housing. People have thrown it to different people. The center blames the state, states blame the center. Everybody is putting more and more taxes on it. Everybody doesn't understand the implication of FSI, of how redevelopment has to take place. Everybody is making their own silly rules which are not really working for the country and for the city and the thing. And lack of infrastructure.
Thank you so much for your comments.
Thank you.
India's #1 news app. Just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.